Hi, this is part 3 of this training video series, and this part is mainly for beginners to download and install ArcNLET, and I will also point out the learning material for the beginners online. So we're going to talk about the ArcNLET software download, installation, and learning material for beginners, and also learning materials based on previous reports. This video is relatively short. So first of all, you can download ArcNLET from the link online. And what you need to do is you first need to determine the ArcGIS version on your computer, and then you come to this software website and click this button, and then this shows all versions of ArcNLET. And then you need to download the ArcNLETv3 version for your ArcGIS on your computer, so you can tell it works from ArcGIS 10.1 up to 10.6.1. After you download the software will be saved in this zip file. You unzip the software to any folders you want to save the file. It doesn't matter where you save it. And then you're gonna see 4 files essentially. The README file is a very short file that tells you how to install. What you're gonna do is first to install ArcNLET by double-click the setup.exe file to install ArcNLET, and then you copy the Vismod into the folder where you install your ArcNLET. So here is example. The default folder of ArcNLET is C program files x86 ArcNLET. And you run setup.exe, this folder will be generated. Oh, by the way, you have to have, if you install it on PC, you have to have the administration authority so that the software can create ArcNLET software on the C drive. And so after you have this ArcNLET software or folder, then you copy this Vismod, the entire folder, to this folder, and then Vismod can be run within ArcNLET. The installation is relatively simple, but there are 2 more things. So after in order to run ArcNLET within ArcGIS, so first of all, after installation, you need activate extension of Spatial Analyst by clicking the customize and extensions. So I'll show you how to do it. So here is ArcGIS, and this is a example of running ArcNLET. We're going to talk about that in the next video. But first of all, you go to customize and you click extension, and make sure the spatial analyst is activated, because we're gonna use many functions under this extension. This is first thing you need to do. And the next thing to do is to add ArcNLET extension to the ArcGIS toolbar. So you're gonna need to click customize and customize mode. So here's what you're gonna do. So you go to customize and customize mode, and if you see ArcNLET, you collect it. And let's say I'll show it to you. So I unselect it, but now I select it, and you notice that these 3 icons I talked in part 2 disappear, and then you can click N to activate ArcNLET. So if you do not see this ArcNLET under ArcGIS, you need to do is to click Add from File, and then if you click it and then you go to this ArcNLET folder that you installed, and then they choose this ArcMap command, and then you click it, and then the ArcNLET should show up here. This is explained here. So add from file and go to the navigate to the folder, C program file x86 ArcNLET, and then select ArcMap command.tlb file, and that should give you this ArcNLET right here. It's right, this file tlb ArcMap tlb, and you can find it somewhere in the folder you have. Okay, ArcNLET tlb. So I will not find it. This must be somewhere. You can find it yourself. Okay. So this is all you need to do to install ArcNLET. So then before I will show you how to run it on computer, but before I show it to you, I want to explain to you the material available on the software website. So if you go to the software website, you're gonna see a number of files there. So here, this is I call it project website, and then you click this button. This is there's a link here, and also include the link in the video. And then you click ArcNLET website, and this is the software website. And here is where you download the software. And here we have different menus. So we have a menu for ArcNLET 1.0 and 3.0. I explain what those versions are in part 2 of this training video series. And here we have user menus for ArcNLET 2.0 because this ArcNLET 2.0 is mainly for uncertainty analysis, and it has not been widely used. So I will not suggest you download it. I would suggest you just read the manual. I just suggest you download ArcNLET v3.0 and read the manual here. So the user manual is for people to use the software. It just you explain how to download, how to install, and how to run the software. And also talk about how to prepare input files to ArcNLET. And those are for using the software. And technical manual are theories, mainly the computational model and mathematical model behind ArcNLET. So if you are just a user, you do not need to read this manual. And this application manual is for some examples how to use ArcNLET for real-world sites. This is very useful if you want to use ArcNLET for real-world modeling, and you will need to read this. Let's go back to the presentation. So we have, I already talked about, just read the manuals here for ArcNLET 1.0 and 3.0. No need to read manuals for ArcNLET 2.0. And for the user manual, you need to read it. For the beginner, you need to read it. So here I have a note. All those manuals were originally written for ArcNLET version 1, which is to simulate transport and estimate the load of nitrate only in groundwater only. But all those manuals are still applicable for ArcNLETv3 that simulate ammonium and nitrate in both video zone and groundwater, because there is no structural change between version 1 and version 3 of ArcNLET, so you can read those manuals to understand how to run it. So we talk about technical manual. The beginner users do not need to read this manual. Application manual, after you know how to run ArcNLET, you want to set up a model for a neighborhood in the real world. This manual tells you some technical details, and I would also introduce many technical details about the how to prepare input files in next several videos. But you can also read it for your own learning purpose. In this sensitivity and uncertainty, so they are still useful. I mentioned to you this uncertainty analysis has not been widely used, but this sensitivity analysis are useful. So they're useful in the sense that they will tell you which parameters are important to ArcNLET simulated nitrate concentration. So this is particularly useful for model calibration. Let's say you have a model and you have model results, and they do not match well to field observations, and you want to adjust some model parameters, and then this sensitivity manual gonna tells you which parameter are important to the simulated nitrate concentration. And also we have this lakeshore example. We're gonna use this one as example in the next video to tell you the conceptual model, mathematical model, and the computational model behind ArcNLET. So this is a example of running ArcNLET for a real-world neighborhood. This is first neighborhood we run by using ArcNLET, and it's very useful. I think you need probably want to download this zip file and run it on your computer as a first step to learn how to use ArcNLET. And in addition to those files in the software website, I also created a project website. And let's go to the project website. So this is the project website, and includes some information of the project. There's three things I want you, it may be useful to you. First of all, I put the presentations I made before to different parties, sometime to county environmental agencies, sometime to DEP, sometime to universities. And those presentations are useful for you. Some may be useful. You can take a look if you get a chance, but I will summarize my presentation before. But keep in mind, those presentations do not include technical details of how to set up a model, how to run a model. It just gives people an overview of the model and the modeling results. And we also put the technical reports for ArcNLET software applications. So we have applied ArcNLET to probably 6 counties in Florida, from north to south. And for each application, we read report. Some reports are just forward run. For example, this lay report and Sai-Mazman report and Sai-Mazman report, they're just forward simulation. They do not include model calibration. But for some reports, we have model calibration. One is the application we did for the the St. Lucie, Port St. Lucie City and Martin County, and also this one for several four lakes in Orange County. And then this is a most recent report. We did it for the Indian River County. So those reports are useful because they include all the technical details of setting up the model run and calibrating the model to match field data. And the third part useful to you is the publications. The conference proceedings are not that useful, but journal articles are useful. So we have this last 4 papers are most useful, and I will use them later on to explain what we did. And those papers also include technical details for model calibration and model forward simulation. So I want to keep this part 3 short, and so after this part of video, you should be able to download and install and know where to find out the learning material for learning ArcNLET. So starting from part 4, I have explained how to run it using the Lakeshore example as as an Lakeshore run as an example. So I will see you in part 4.